I talked to a magic guy the other day who wants to kill everyone who is involved with the collab stuff, and I thought it was really funny because
That's me.
I wanted to be like, I have a friend.
I'm the guy that's with the collab stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to be like, I have a friend who you would want to kill.
Yeah. I'm part of the problem. And you know what's funny is I just don't understand it. It's like, I mean, we don't need to go down this road, but
No, we should.
I feel like when I got involved with Magic originally and like fell in love with the game is like classic Magic. It's like when a lot of the rules were the old school rules and the cards were like nothing but the classic cards and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And what brought me back to the game was the crossovers. Like I was, Magic was always going to be there. It was never going to change. It was always going to be a good card game that I could, dip my toes into whenever I wanted, especially since Arena existed at that point. But what got me actually heavily invested into the game again was the crossovers. And I just don't understand. It'd be one thing if they just stopped doing classic Magic, but like classic Magic stuff is at an all-time high. Like the art for classic Magic characters and that world building is like the best it's ever been. Their writing for the story that they tell in the cards is like dog shit, but everything else is really, really good. And then on top of that, we also have all the crossovers. So I just don't know why people are so ass mad. I can't wait till we go to Bikini Bottom, bro. Are you fucking kidding me?
Is that happening?
That is happening, yes.
Wow.
In July, I think.
It's official. The Avatar The Last Airbender ones are going to slap. I'm probably going to buy one of those just to keep them, more than likely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really had no skin in the game on this Magic stuff. I do understand that people are just really tired of collabs in general. Like it feels like our entire society has become built on collabs or like crossover reference shit, So I could understand that. Like it's like not any property can stand on its own. It has to involve everything else that's even tangentially related. Or some things that aren't tangentially related, like Magic the Gathering and SpongeBob do not seem like a natural pairing, except for the fact that I love SpongeBob. So if I also loved Magic, I guess I would be creaming my fucking shorts over it.
That's basically how it all is.
All it is, yeah.
Let's see what the largest random crossovers we can find are. Which I guess like the Marvel one was honestly like perfect for Westoids. So
I mean, yeah, so
if you play Magic, you probably like Marvel. You're probably one of those people.
Yeah, so like let's name some of the crossovers they've done, right? Street Fighter is the one that got me back in. They did Street Fighter. Right after Street Fighter, they did Fortnite, which is crazy. And then right after Fortnite, they did Warhammer 40K. After that, they did Doctor Who and Fallout, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Now they're doing Marvel and Last Airbender and Final Fantasy. It's just crazy. Like, what's next? It has to be Star Wars, right? Like, it has to be. Or Nintendo properties that aren't Pokemon, Mario and Zelda and stuff. Anything but Pokemon, basically, I think is on the table.
You think Nintendo would really do it?
I think Pokemon's even on the table.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
think even Pokemon's on the table, though.
Really? I honestly agree, Merced, but
wait, really?
It's hard to say just because of how much money their card game makes. It's hard to say.
I know, but they already not they, but that idea has already kind of been broken with Final Fantasy. Where Final Fantasy has their own card game, and yet they still decide to do a Secret Lair crossover, or not even Secret Lair. They're doing
a full set.
Yeah, that's a full thing.
Yeah, so, they have a new set coming out in like a few months, right before Final Fantasy's Magic set comes out. It's so stupid, but I love it.
So I mean, like Pokemon easily. I mean, what you just do 50?
It's
just
possible.
do 50 in a Secret Lair and fucking call it, and yeah.
Oh, a Secret Lair. Yeah.
Right. I don't know about a full set, but I mean, like, yeah, like
Right.
50 in a secret lair, done. That's donezo. That's easy. That prints money like crazy.
Sorry, Chandler.
Chandler's muted. He's scrambling, bro. He's freaking out. Oh, shit.
Ian Pale sweating meme.
Oh, you got it. You got it. You're good.
All right. I don't know what happened, but it did happen. I think I tugged on the cord a little too hard, if you know what I'm saying.
Every night.
Well, I was going to say that I don't think Nintendo collabs with anybody. But I guess that's not true. They have precisely one collab, and it's Sonic and Mario at the Olympic Games. Video game of 2025, baby. Let's go.
It's like they do with like kind of like toy type products. They do crossover with things with Mario and Zelda and stuff. Board games get Nintendo versions of them all the time. Hasbro owns Monopoly. Hasbro owns Magic the Gathering, maybe to some sort of like marketing or licensing team. They don't view it that differently. For a secret lair, which is a one-time like product, not like a big continuous thing where they're a part of Magic's like overarching, like a full set is different. It's like a part of Magic for a long-term thing.
Yeah.
Whereas a secret lair is just like a reskin that features other characters, and that's like a little bit different.
They've done other stuff like Nintendo notoriously has done collaborations with shoes.
Right. Yeah, it's no different than any other like product, like a shirt or anything.
Particularly like Nike. I feel like Nike was the one, especially back in the day too. Like I would see basically like promotionals where there was like limited edition Nike sneakers that had Nintendo characters on them, or like shit like that.
Really? I don't know why I don't remember this at all.
Yeah, it being a physical product is what sets it apart to me.
Huh. Okay.
And Zelda was in Soul Calibur. Link, sorry. I can't believe I just said it. But,
you fell for the meme, dude.
Yeah, I got myself, bro.
God,
big fan.
Can you believe how hot Metroid is, dude? She's
that's true.
He's so hot, Metroid.
Dude,
so
oh my
hot.
God.
That's true. Zelda being in Soul Calibur is crazy.
Yeah, it's not impossible. I genuinely think Pokemon is the impossible one. That is the one. Like, I mean, they do crossover with merch too, so I guess I'm like eating my own words. It's the same kind of logic, but
yeah. Do we perceive Pokemon to even be like, oh, Pokemon is Nintendo? Isn't Pokemon like the Pokemon company now?
Well,
yeah,
aren't they like their own major entity? Like Nintendo just happens to like have like a third of the.
They
ownership?
have a third.
Yeah,
it's their own IP that they have a third of, but. That's why I make the distinction. Is I don't know if Pokemon would do it because of.
But I mean, a third ownership of anything is pretty substantial,
large.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's large.
So they definitely have the ability to influence decisions that the Pokemon company makes, of course.
Right.
But okay. Well, speaking of the Pokemon company,
yes.
We're back.
Oh my God.
Welcome back. It's been a while. You are listening to the premier Pokemon podcast. Okay.
Holy shit.
We're here, the three Pokemon experts. We know everything there is to know about Pokemon, especially me, a guy who has played every Pokemon game ever. This is not a bit, by the way. I've only played 1 hour of every Pokemon game before getting bored, but that's what makes me the host. I don't need to know anything. I just rely on you guys to say words, and then I upload them in a way that makes you look stupid and me look like a genius.
What's the deal with these new Pokemon?
Huh?
What's the deal with these new Pokemon?
How do you mean?
Isn't one of them like a trash bag or something? You got like chandeliers and shit now.
Oh
What's going
my
on?
God,
What are
not
they
this
doing?
meme. Jesus Christ, bro.
What are they doing,
What?
bro?
This is such 2011 Pokemon
Yeah,
shit,
it was
bro.
supposed to be like, oh, what's the deal with airline food? It's supposed to be like
Yeah,
that, but it just
yeah.
didn't.
No,
It
I
didn't
got you.
flow very well.
Well, I didn't know if you were genuinely asking.
They did announce some new Pokemon.
Oh my god!
So
Yeah, you want me to talk about it? I know about it.
Merced's right about one thing.
New Pokemon.
There is new Pokemon theoretically out soon. I don't think they gave any release dates for any of this stuff. But
Wait, maybe I don't think so.
You're
Maybe
listening to Infinite Scale 2, by the way. I'm carrying this meme forward. We're now Infinite Scale 2, the sequel to Infinite Scale. No, you're listening to the Infinite Scale podcast. I'm your host, of course, William Chandler, joined by Chris Crossley and Christopher Merced. We're back from our hiatus, wherein we played some video games that we'll talk about. But more importantly, some news happened. So let's just get into that. Let's talk about the Pokemon Company and what they're up to. I'm typing Pokemon into my web browser as we speak, because I need a refresher. But I know the man who doesn't need a refresher is Christopher Crossley. Crossley, tell me about the Pokemon announcements.
The only one I really care about is the new console game. I don't know if y'all played X and Y. I feel like there was a moment in time where a lot of us were playing that Pokemon, and it was like when I lived with Beeple, it was the first Pokemon on 3DS. And I remember like a lot of us would play at Beeple's, and we would do like little battles. And it was like me and Tran, and there had to have been at least one other person, but maybe it wasn't you guys. But anyway, it was an okay game, but they're doing a new one now, and a big part of that game was it had a huge ass city that was like the big thing. And now this game that they're making on the console, the whole game takes place in that city instead of a whole map as the region. The whole map is in a big metropolitan city. And all
true?
the battles, and yes,
This
the like wild Pokemon and trainer battles and everything are all taking place in this big ass city.
You're referring to Pokemon Z2A, is that correct?
Yeah, the new Pokemon Legends game. And the last Pokemon Legends game was the Arceus one that took place like
a bajillion years ago.
A long time in the past when they first started catching Pokemon. And that game, in my opinion, was really, really good. My only thing I didn't like was that it took place in the past. I was like, dude, this concept is so cool.
Wait, why didn't you like that? I thought that was the best part of it.
It was cool, but and that was like a nice like shtick, but like it was like more of like a gimmick than it didn't really make sense. We're literally throwing balls made of wood at Pokemon and they shrink into it and stuff like that. And the way the box system, it's literally not explained, and it's just done for the fun of it. You know what I mean? Like, so it's kind of like a weird disconnect the whole time because none of it really makes sense. And you're even transported there from the real world to this. And you're given like a magical godlike cell phone. So the whole thing is just kind of silly. But the gameplay of it was really cool. It was all like a first thing, you know, for Pokemon, the way it's all designed. I was like, I want this, but like in a modern Pokemon setting. And that's what this is. And it's all taking place in a big city, which is an interesting concept too. Instead of exploring a whole map, the whole map is a fucking huge ass city.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest. I watched this presentation. I think I was in a meeting. If someone from work is listening to this, I don't know what to tell you guys. I think I was in a meeting, so I was watching this like with no sound. And I recall just looking at it and not really absorbing the information that it all took place in the city. I just thought they really wanted to highlight that there was a really big city, which I mean was cool. I mean that it definitely was. I mean, they could do it like Oblivion style, where it's like Imperial City is the center, and then there's everything around it, and that would be fine too. But knowing that it's all in the city is neat. I mean, I guess I don't really understand what. I mean, I live in New York. We have wild Pokemon here, but it's just one type, rats, and they just crawl around everywhere. You can definitely catch them if you want, and sick them on other people in the form of battles, but ultimately, I don't really understand how just a city could have enough biodiversity to inspire different types of Pokemon. Inspire. I don't know why I said inspire like they're painting, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. I'm also interested to see what the real, I guess, selling point will be aside from
it's a new
I guess,
Pokemon.
well, no, aside from them bringing back mega evolutions and stuff, which was a thing in X and Y, and they haven't done it since that era of Pokemon. So that is like a thing that I think will excite some people, but it's definitely not like enough. And I do think the city concept is cool, but I sort of align with what you're kind of saying, like, but how are they gonna, and maybe they're just not gonna really explain it at all, and there's just going to be a bunch of diversity for no good reason, you know what I mean, among whatever they do with like how the wild Pokemon work and stuff like that. It could be like we made these safari zones like all over the fucking city, and here you go catch some different stuff. Like who I have no idea, but yeah, we'll see. I'm a fan of the concept, but I've definitely reached the point with Pokemon where I'll be like waiting until after it comes out and seeing what a lot of people say, and definitely seeing how it performs before I'm like actually interested, I guess. But
well, they did not, from what I can tell, give any kind of indication of release, right?
Okay. I couldn't remember, but
I don't see anything. I'm on the website right now and I don't see anything. So this website actually does provide, first of all, what's up with the fact that they design websites better than they design like menus in their own games? You know what I mean? Like this shit looks really nice, and it works really well. So that's kind of interesting. But they do give a lot of information here, and at the very bottom, actually,
yes,
at the very bottom, it says releasing simultaneously worldwide in 2025. So it is at least this year.
Simultaneous. What is there two, or simultaneous with what?
I think they mean simultaneously, as in Japan does not get it before everyone.
Yes,
which
gotcha,
I don't think they haven't in a while, right? That hasn't really been a thing.
I don't think that's been a thing for I don't know.
But
I could be wrong. Maybe not.
So I'd like to highlight. So you're talking about the Mega Evolved Pokemon. I really like how they have. So Mega Charizard X and Y already existed, I guess.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Is there a Z now?
There doesn't appear to be a Z, but they're probably not on the website anyway. But they should. That would be very funny. They should have A through Z.
Okay.
Charizards that are just different colors. They have Mega Lucario.
Yeah, he was the thing before as well.
Okay. Is he just bigger, or because he looks the same to me?
He's got like some ribbons and stuff when he goes Mega or something coming off of him, but he looks pretty similar.
Okay. Same with like Absol.
Where are you looking at these?
It's at the very bottom.
Okay. I see. Yeah, Absol gets like those little wings, basically. That's about it.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so the main thing I'm getting from this is that and I think this is what everybody really wanted to talk about when this thing was announced, is that the starters are divisive, I guess, in the sense that, like, I feel like this is the first time in a while that there's been obviously not one starter that I feel like everyone agrees is the best one, is what I mean.
But what are the starters?
Chikorita, Tepig, and Totodile.
Okay, so clearly they're going to give all of these a Mega Evolution, which means obviously Totodile, right? Like, come on.
Yeah, that would be so sick, dude. Could you imagine? And his name's
Mega Feraligatr? Come on.
His name's no, they should get new names when they go Mega.
They only get new names if they get a new form, which is a thing they do.
Okay.
And the other, yeah.
Roscoe.
That's
Mega Feraligatr.
Yeah.
Roscoe, King of the Everglades.
Okay.
Yeah, Totodile would be my choice. That's who I picked in Silver.
Yeah.
Base.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So based.
Yeah. So, but I saw a lot of people rooting for Tepig.
I mean, I can't lie. He's the best pick from his gen, for sure. And Chikorita is just going to get cucked no matter what. I don't see anyone picking Chikorita this game, whoever buys it. But
poor Chikorita.
For me, it's definitely Totodile. But
Chikorita just has a shit final evolution.
Yeah, I just don't care for Meganium at all.
She's so cute, though.
It's adorable, yeah. But yeah, Tepig's final form, Embor, is a fire fighting type, and it's just like a big fucking buff. I don't know. It's pretty badass looking, honestly. Look it up.
I'm about to. Oh, whoa. Good God, man. Imagine how cool it would be if the fucking Pokemon wiki was like legible. Instead, there's more text in the entry for Tepig in the Pokemon wiki than there is in like a modern dictionary. Okay, he turns into Pigonite, which actually, Merced, you should be a Tepig fan because Pigonite looks like he's about to open at AEW tonight. He's got a leotard, which is of course his fur. And,
I forgot about this fucking Pokemon.
And he's fucking flexing. So that's pretty sick.
He looks pretty sick. That's my guy.
Also, just like Merced's sexual history, it's 87% male and 12% female is the average for Pigonite.
Oh, nice.
I didn't realize they did that. They had like Pokemon that I thought it was just 50-50.
They have different gender drop rates.
Yeah, that's
it's usually harder to get a female. Almost always.
Really?
God, that's always so true.
Yeah, Embor does look pretty sick, actually. So that's pretty cool. But I mean, come on, Feraligatr is my boy. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, Feraligatr is just sick as fuck.
I'm not gonna turn against him. So anyway, okay, well, that's Pokemon Legends Z2A. It looks pretty fun.
Real quick, did you like Mudkip?
Are you doing the meme right now?
No,
the Mudkip
no, okay. I'm really not. Did you though? Like actually,
it was fine.
Okay.
Why?
Did you play that one? Were you like?
That was Sapphire and Ruby, right?
Yeah, it was like Torchic, Trico, and Mudkip.
I was a Torchic boy.
Okay, I like Torchic as well.
Yeah,
Mudkip was cool though, but I
also picked Torchic. Yeah,
sick. Okay, I was gonna bring up Mega Swampert and how Absolutely ridiculous it looks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think
He's
Trico had the best evolution of those three, though.
Yeah, Septile?
I don't remember, but it was pretty sick.
Yeah.
It was
pretty
pretty
fucking
cool.
cool.
It was pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Like Blaziken's sick as fuck too, but
Yeah, agreed.
Swampert can mega evolve into Mega Swampert.
Yeah, look at him.
Oh yeah, he's got like he's just roided out. That's all.
Yeah,
That's
he's
that's
just roided the
it's
fuck
the
out.
same guy. He's just roiding out.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I fuck with pretty much like those first like 3 or 4 generations. I felt like they just couldn't miss with a Pokemon. Like everybody was pretty cool.
Yeah, they nailed it. The first 3, I agree.
By the way, Blaziken, that's my dog right there, dude. Me and Blaziken. I forgot that there is also a Mega Blaziken,
Yes.
but that is pretty cool. I fuck with
It's also
Mega
one of the
Blaziken.
most broken Pokemon in competitive Pokemon history.
Yeah, because fire and fighting, dude. Holy
And
shit.
Its ability was that it just got faster every turn, no matter
So
what.
Awesome.
Its
That's
speed
so
stat would just go
awesome.
actually higher, so you could never outspeed it, and it would just one-shot you.
Fucking cool guy, dude. Yeah, Pokemon's fun. They do apparently talk about. So, did you see the Wild Zones thing? This is where all the wild Pokemon are. Wild Zones as part of Lumios's urban redevelopment plan, which is such a funny thing to apply to Pokemon. Driven by a large corporation called Quasartico.
Okay.
The city has been outfitted with wild zones in an effort to help humans and Pokemon share the city. These areas are constructed using cutting-edge technology to give Pokemon places to live. Within wild zones, you can battle Pokemon and catch them by throwing Pokeballs. So it literally just looks like a regular part of the city,
With a bunch of fucking Pokemon.
but there's just Pokemon wandering around. To me, it would make sense if they looked like parks and each park had like a different biome associated. And they could do that. They could do that.
Might end up doing that.
But there's a funny photo here where there's a gate to a wild zone. It's like a level 1. I guess that's what that means. Wild zone just has a big 1 on it. And it's just a street. And you walk in and there's a fucking rabbit and a one of the sparrow guys and a fucking sheep just chilling on the road. That seems very dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, this was the city's whole thing in the original game, is that like they had fully acclimated Pokemon into like the city's, I don't know, like they had like barbershops with like Pokemon doing this stuff. Like, but literally, you know what I mean?
My
It was like
Pokemon
that
can get
kind
a
of thing.
fucking fade, bro. I can.
Yes. There's a dog Furfru, and it has like a bunch of different hairstyles, and it's like a whole thing. Anyway, that doesn't matter. My point is,
Searching it.
I guess it's like, I get it. If that's like their angle, is they're trying to acclimate the Pokemon to the city life, so that the wild zones, that's why they're just the city. But it's like I was saying earlier, they're probably just coming up with some bullshit to make it make sense why there's wild Pokemon there.
Okay,
and that's just,
okay. Natural Furfro is like a regular dog that hasn't had a haircut, like a dog anybody might have, except he's got a very floofy head.
Yeah.
The next 2 are Dandy, where he has a tie on and a top hat now.
Yeah, I have that one.
And then Debutante, where he just looks like a runway model, which I think is pretty sick. So, and there's like 7 more that aren't as funny as those 2, so I'm just gonna leave it there. But
yeah,
that's pretty good. Yeah, I'll play this, of course. I play all of them. I played a bunch of Arceus actually, and thought it was fine. I actually that was one of the ones I played more of, which is insane.
I like that one a lot. Yeah,
I played it until I realized nothing new was gonna happen. Like, it was like 15 hours or something, and I was like, I get the game loop. There's nothing new for me to experience here. Don't say anything, Crossley. I know I'm right.
Okay. Yes.
No, I don't know. I mean, you know what though? It's funny. I have that game still installed, and I think the first thing I'm going to do when the Switch 2 comes out is go back and play a bunch of the Nintendo, like that and Tears of the Kingdom are like first up, where I'm going to be like, these games ran like absolute dog butt. I'm going to fucking, I'm going to play them now, like as soon as Switch 2 comes out. So,
yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, Pokemon Z2A, late 2025, it says. You're not you said that was the only thing you cared about. You're not a Champions guy?
I guess not. I'm not the PvP aspect of Pokemon is not what interests me at all. It's super sweaty, super min-maxy.
Yeah.
Super grindy, and albeit they've made the grind for like making OP hyper specific stat boosted Pokemon really easy in the newer games. I'm just not into that. Like I don't give a fuck.
I read something that made me think this was going to be and correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like this was a thing in like Coliseum 1 or 2 where you could do a battle and the Pokemon were randomized that you got. Was that
they might have that in this?
I think that's what this is.
My understanding is that you can play this game without pulling in Pokemon from the other games, but you can also pull in Pokemon from the other games.
I see.
So I'm thinking this is going to be their platform for PvP and their world tournaments and stuff. That way, these other mainline games they're making can be way more focused on the mainline game and not have this other fucking whole part of the game that's dedicated to the PvP for their world tournaments. They can just have it connect to Pokemon Home. People upload their stuff to Pokemon Home and then put it in Pokemon Champions, and then that's where they do PvP moving forward for the tournament.
It doesn't really make sense to me though, because like the whole, like to me, okay, why would you do that? Okay, you do it for balance reasons. One might be, right? Like it's easier to balance if you could only target, you know, whatever. Two, you widen your player base in terms of, because obviously this is not just a Switch game. It seems like it's on everything.
Yeah, mobile. Yeah.
So obviously that one is probably one of the biggest reasons, but I can't really think of a reason why a Pokemon game player would choose to prioritize this unless they literally just go, if you want to be tournament, you have to play this. But then if you could just bring your Pokemon in from other
it's two different groups of people. I think it's really just that simple.
Okay.
The people that want to play Pokemon for that reason, the tournament and PvP reason, are not the people that want to play Pokemon for the I'm trying to catch the shiny Pokemon and beat the story and just I'm a kid playing Pokemon, like, you know, whatever it is. There's like, it's two different audiences, so I definitely get it.
Okay. I mean, I trust your
and it makes sense for the developers too, for them to not have to now worry about putting that into every game moving forward. They just need to have a feature that connects it to Pokemon Home, which they're always going to do. And then Pokemon Home, you put the Pokemon into the Champions game, all the PvP is handled there. You don't have to.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's kind of weird because then it means it's kind of impossible to balance if you can bring Pokemon over that have stats from any game.
Well, no, you do all the balancing in Champions. You just.
Oh, so you could just have the Pokemon, but it doesn't necessarily have the stats that you.
I mean, that's how it works in every game. Yeah, so like, let's say, for instance, I had a competitive Blaziken in Sword and Shield that I was trying to bring over to Scarlet and Violet, right? It's going to get retweaked to the new game's normal, and there's certain moves that don't exist in the new games too anymore. They rechange everything every generation. So by putting it all on one platform, they're basically saving them all that bullshit for the competitive side of things moving forward, and they can just focus on what they want to do for the other aspects of the game that aren't the PvP tournament.
Crazy
shit. because they literally use the mainline games as the platform to host their world tournaments and stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like now that doesn't have to be a thing. Pokemon Champions can be that platform for those people, and then the mainline games.
Everything is so complicated these days. I wonder what the oldest Pokemon is. Like, is there a guy out there who has like a Pokemon bank or home or whatever with his like Pikachu from Yellow or some shit? Like, you know what I mean?
I remember looking into this once because I really wanted to see what I could do in that regard. And my oldest Pokemon goes as far back as it can. It's like a shiny Sunflora. And I can't remember now off the top of my head which generation is the disconnect, because you could go from 1 to 2 no problem, and I want to say from 2 to 3 no problem.
Mm-hmm.
But then one of the generations, I don't know, you couldn't do the thing, and I forget now. And I could just be wrong. Maybe you can go 1 to like maybe you can go all the way, and that is a thing. But
yeah.
Anyway, at some point when it went online is when there started to be issues and certain things couldn't get carried over. But from that point forward, everything could get carried over. Anyway, sorry. The Pokemon tangent has been so deep.
Pokemon podcast.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's move on. Let's talk about.
Said he's ready to kill.
Yeah, let's talk about.
I'm just waiting. I don't give a fuck about Pokemon at all.
Yeah, it's like an academic interest for me. Like I don't play or really care about Pokemon, but I'm always fascinated by what's happening in the world of Pokemon. Well, what news do you bring, Merced?
Basically just the shit that I'm excited about. I think that we have got a lot of stuff coming up in this next month. Obviously, there's Monster Hunter Wilds, which is fucking phenomenal. But I mean, before talking about any of that, the one game I think that everyone should be looking out for, and put their time into because there's a demo on Steam, is First Berserker Kazan that comes out later this month. Everyone should give that a shot. If you like Souls-like games, that's going to pique your interest.
Let me pull up the release calendar here. According to my calculations, that game comes out March 27th for the PlayStation 5, the Xbox family of consoles, and the Windows personal computer. You know what else comes? Sorry, go ahead.
What? I was just going to say, it's something for the Souls fans. Just another thing to hold you over until you get Liza P. Overture. And doesn't Night Rain come out sooner than Overture? Isn't it coming out pretty soon? When is Night Rain coming out?
I think it's the end of May.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, May 30th.
So that'll come even before Overture. So... but it's something to play, and I played it. I thought it was really fucking good. I am genuinely excited to play it. Nice. I think it's going to be really, really fun.
Can you still download the demo now or no?
Yeah, you can give it a shot. It took me about I'd say 2.5 to 3 hours to beat it, and it saves your progress.
So. Cool. Okay. Is it on Game Pass?
No, I don't think so.
I ain't playing this garbage. No.
Yeah, it's gonna be on Steam. But if whenever it inevitably goes on sale in like 4 or 5 months, I would highly recommend picking it up because I honestly think they did a really, really good job of almost in a sense of another Liza P, where they differentiate themselves pretty heavily. Obviously, like directly inspired, but differentiate themselves pretty heavily in the sense that they wanted to be a lot more action oriented. It feels different, so it's really cool to have a different flavor available to the Souls fans.
I think I actually will download the demo, and based on how much I enjoy it, will determine if I spend the $60 on March 27th or not. Yeah, I had been paying attention to this one. I mean, I don't... The art style is kind of a funny thing to me. I don't think it looks bad, but it definitely... It reminds me of, like... like some of the like JRPGs. There was like a Tales game not that long ago that looked a hell of a lot like this. Which I think it was Tales of Arise. Like this, just the cell shaded.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
like art style look.
I dig the way they did it with the first Berserker. I dig it. I think it looks nice in motion and everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot. It always looked pretty fun. I know a lot of people have been looking forward to that. From what I understand, this developer doesn't really have a lot under their belt. It's published by Nexon, which is interesting because
Ayo.
How much is Nexon, getting into single player like RPGs these days? I feel like they've become like the online game people, right? Like the first Descendant, that was a Nexon game. Isn't that like a free to play thing? Yeah.
I think Nexon just likes to have their hand in a bunch of crazy shit at this point.
Yeah, they're just going for it. It's coming out the same day, Atomfall, on March 27th.
Atomfall's gonna be cool. I'm pretty excited. Do we know if that's gonna be like an immersive sim, or is it just gonna kind of be more like Atomic Heart style shit?
I wasn't sure. And I started, so the preview coverage started coming out in the last week or so. So there's a bunch of videos out there of people playing like the first few hours of Atomfall. And it definitely seems like equal parts like an Elder Scrolls type of thing, an immersive sim, it really looks like the game. Like it's got every genre in it. Like there's like RPG-ish type mechanics. There's I guess if I was gonna draw like an analog that came to mind when I was watching the footage, it was Dying Light.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, without the parkour, I guess, but there's like a lot of like meandering around, talking to people, actually making some like dialogue choices, story choices, melee combat, crafting, survival. It does seem like on some level there is like a way to improve your gear, things like that. Yeah, it's just one of those games that you like. I feel like you have to at minimum put a few hours into it before you really start getting it. Which is like that when I see shit like that, I mean it's like catnip for me. Like I start getting excited because like I've even seen people calling it like a stalker like in some ways.
That's interesting. Is it like extremely open world?
It's more like open zone, which I guess is kind of how Stalker is too. Old Stalker.
Yeah, anyway. Yeah.
I mean, new Stalker's a bit more open, but even then, it's still they kind of break it up on the map right into like different little sections. But yeah, Avowed honestly might even be a similar type of structure. So it looks interesting. Yeah, I'm really excited.
That actually makes me less excited, weirdly enough.
That's hilarious.
I think my brain is too frail for these open world games now. I have to put me on a path and point me in a direction and let me just go at whatever you put in my way at this point.
Brother, you just have to resist and stay like you did for Rebirth. You just have to
Yeah, that's
fucking
true.
ignore the other shit if you're not in the mood for it. And then when you are in the mood for it, that's fine too. You know, like Ghost of Tsushima is probably a good example of like, fuck it, I'm gonna fucking take all this. And I don't know if you did that, but I know a lot of people did.
I did.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima is like perfect for that.
Right. Whereas, you know,
I think they
if
did it
there's a
really
game-
well.
If there's a game where that's not the case, then you just gotta fucking beeline it for the fucking main path, dude, and stick to the shit that resonates with you.
So like Ghost of Tsushima was like so extremely atmospheric, and then the things that you had to do that were like out of your way, I guess, like all the little mini game stuff, like that shit took like 5 seconds at max once you actually found the location. And then all of the other stuff, like the small quests and things that you had to do, were essentially just going around and fighting people and liberating the different areas of the island and all that kind of stuff, which is like
what
cool.
you want to do.
Yeah, and I actively wanted to do those things.
Yes.
But whenever it comes to things like Avowed, I don't like it. The exploration is such an integral part of that game and such an integral part of the satisfaction that people get from the game. And the moment to moment satisfaction that I was getting from that was like non-existent. And then interacting with each NPC was almost like, I don't know, it felt like a dice roll of like, what quality of side quest am I really going to get here? Like I could like if I don't check every single NPC and see every single quest, then I might be missing out on like either like a really good storytelling bit or honestly just like really, really good content in the game. And there's no way for me to know until I roll the dice and I actually do the quest and then see, and then, oh no, it's another fetch quest. It's like things like that. I'm like so done. Like I'm so done and over it.
So
Whereas like
it's maybe more like Stalker that's not like appealing to you.
In Stalker, it's more. In Stalker, it would be more appealing to me because I really, really love. First of all, I love the world,
right.
But also, like the things that you're doing. I think this is the main thing too. The things that you are doing is invoking the gameplay loop, essentially. Like it's the same thing with Ghost of Tsushima. If I go and get a quest, I know I'm not going to go and do a fucking fetch quest. They're not going to make me do that. They're not going to make me go do something like boring. It's literally going to be like, oh, here's a side quest. Guess what you're going to be doing? Go off and fight those guys over there. It's like, awesome. This is exactly what I came to play the game for. So, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm watching.
We'll
I'm
see
watching
how they do it.
I'm watching the Eurogamer stuff. Kind of as you guys talk through this. I mean, I think this game seems. I guess I would say Stalker 2 is the comparison I would give it the most. Just watching him kind of maneuver around, it seems to be a lot of just picking through old ruins, getting into firefights with guys, getting into melee fights. There's a lot of melee combat because all the guns, at least what they're showing in these early hours, are like rusted and shitty. Most of them are single shot. He's like clearing a jam right now. So I see the Stalker influence for sure. The zone definitely looks smaller. It looks like it's going for density over like wide exploration, which I'm in favor of personally. The thing that I think would make it more RPG-ish like Avowed, which to me, you know, I like that. I mean, but even Stalker had some of that RPG in it, right? Like dialogue choices, things that change the way the story progresses. It looks like Adam Fall's leaning in that direction, and Avowed does a lot of that, which is we'll talk about a little bit later when we talk more about that game. But to me, it looks like that's what they're going for with Adam Fall, is like, we want to have a lot of dialogue that's not just inconsequential in flavor and world building, but is actually like tied to decisions that you're making that influence the factions that you work with and things like that, which is what Stalker's all about, right? I mean, that's that game is like exploration and then navigating this weird geopolitical thing that's going on where like there's a bunch of different groups trying to take over, you know, this piece of land, right? So yeah, I'm excited to give it a shot. I mean, you know, it looks very much my shit. I guess is the best way I can put it. So
I like the vibe.
Yeah, I like the vibe as well. It seems kind of funny. Yeah, we'll see. So Adamfall, March 27th, same day as the first Berserker Kazan. So maybe that will be Adamfall. Adamfall is also on Game Pass, so it's kind of like, okay, why not give it a shot? At least,
yeah.
And see where we end up. Do you have anything else this month that you were looking at?
They have, Res of the Ronin is coming out, and
fuck.
That was that game that I literally was like, damn, dude, if this wasn't a PS5 exclusive, I would have played it.
Yeah,
so
I kind of agree with you there.
So I'm definitely going to be playing that whenever if I can find the time. I mean, this is what, 3? Yeah, these are 3 big games coming out. 4 actually, because I actually do want to play Assassin's Creed Shadows, but I know a lot of people don't really give a fuck about that game.
I want to play that too. Yeah.
So
yeah, March 20th. That's so soon, and yet I feel like that game has not really. It hasn't. I feel like I haven't. When a big game is coming out, a lot of times you just feel like it's at the front of your brain somewhere. This just doesn't feel real. It feels like
it's got to be the delay. It's got to be something to do with. Like,
even pre-delay which meant it was closer. There was like zero marketing. Like at all. Like there was no push from them to sort of make me want it either. And same is true now when it's not getting delayed this close to release. It's like, okay, there's still not any marketing at all.
I've been seeing a lot of advertisement for it.
Oh, I haven't. Okay, interesting. Yeah. And I feel like I want to play it.
I'm flipping through the screenshots that Eurogamer has as part of this like story. For Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Selling Eurogamer, dude. He's fucking invested in Euro.
From what I've seen, people are saying that the dynamics between the two characters, they did really fucking well. So I'm excited about that.
I like Eurogamer, but actually I lied. I'm on IGN now. That was my bad. I was watching the Adamfall video on. But first of all, wow, Assassin's Creed Shadows looks really nice. That game is fucking beautiful. But secondly,
hopefully it runs well.
Secondly, I came to a here. I'm just gonna. Oh wait! Of course, IGN doesn't allow you to copy their images. That would be too easy. So never mind. I'm just gonna describe what I see here, which is
Share the link.
A gigantic. Well, it would give you the link to the whole page, and you'd have to scroll through the images.
I'll do it.
Oh, Jesus.
Holy shit! He's making everything difficult.
He is making everything difficult.
I want to see it.
Well, this is the release calendar page, and then you're gonna have to.
We really should have a screencast.
Yeah, I can.
You know what? That's what we need.
Jesus Christ! All right. You know what? That's what I'll do then.
The production value needs to go up. We need to move forward.
Yeah, it'll be a perfect square of us 3 and then the screencast. It makes so much sense.
I mean, I should set this up.
Think about how many times we're referencing things that are on the screen in front of us. That whole Pokemon thing, I'm like lobotomized mentally because I had no clue what the fuck you were talking about.
So true.
These are good production notes, and I'll take them into consideration for next time. Okay, do you see this screen here?
Yeah,
you see this? Awesome. You see this fucking screen? It says now a level. I guess that's level. Yeah, level 40. It has XP, and then it has color coded loot. Even the horse has a loot slot. I think I'm
so generic.
I think I'm gonna blow my fucking brains out.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. And it's not just these. Like, it's not even like hey, this is a Ubisoft game. It's like, bro, this is a AAA UI. This is literally every fucking game now.
Yeah, this is how Night Rain works. It has the color coded loot and shit.
And I guess it's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, like, they obviously test this shit on fucking randos who come in and they're like, what UI is probably the most intuitive for you and blah blah and all that kind of shit. But I mean, like, Jesus Christ, man.
I just look at this. By the way,
oh my god,
there's a fucking civilization.
Shit. There's base building.
Yeah. I'm so in.
There's base building in Assassin's Creed Shadows.
They got me by the balls, bro.
I don't know, man. This is that is sick, but this is like poison to me. This fucking stat screen thing is like poison
Yeah,
to me.
everything else though.
I mean, God of War did it too.
Yeah,
Right? That's a great game.
Yeah,
It's a
everything else
phenomenal
here
game,
looks
even.
sick. Yeah, it is. Everything else here looks sick as fuck. Like every other screenshot
Yeah.
I'm seeing, I'm just like, yeah, I want to play this really bad.
Chandler's shaking his head.
I don't go, fuck.
Yeah,
Look at this. Look at this. I'm so in, dude.
I'll probably give it a shot, but it's also
I'm samurai brained, brother.
I mean, I'm gonna play it. I am legitimately interested in the game.
Are all AAA video games just $70 now? Is that the deal?
Yeah, I think they all came to a consensus that they're going to be doing that now.
Suikoden 1 and 2 came out. Holy fuck, dude. Oh my good god.
I mean the remasters, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Fuck. Yeah.
Split Fiction. Brandon and Tim were playing that, and they said that was a lot of fun. So
I don't think anybody's gonna trick me into playing that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm good on that as well.
Split Fiction's out. I've seen some decent things about it. Suikoden, yeah, the remaster. I saw a bunch of people fucking like praising whatever God will listen that actually happened.
Me, that's me. He's talking about me.
There's a WWE game if you have brain damage.
He's talking about Merced. Merced, he's talking about you.
He's talking about me.
Yeah, Rise of the Ronin. Rise of the Ronin. This says March 11th, but on Steam I saw March 10th. I don't know what to believe.
It probably does come out March 10th, technically at like 11 o'clock p.m.
That's probably true. So then Assassin's Creed Shadows March 20th. Wreckfest 2 early access, which is fascinating. I didn't even know that was happening until I saw it on Steam the other day.
Hell yeah, brother. Give me that shit. I love Flat Out.
March 20th. I do love Flat Out, though. I remember thinking Flat Out was so fun as a kid. Remember that thing where there was just an entire mode where you had to catapult your car at like a fucking...
At a target?
Yeah.
I guess I never played this. I'm not familiar.
Yeah.
You never played Flat Out? That shit was like peak, like brain damaging fun. It was so just
like Burnout,
mind numbing.
Burnout's version.
It's worse than Burnout.
But you know, like Burnout, where you just send the car into traffic and cause a huge wreck or whatever. Is it kind of like
in the one they introduced in Revenge, that game mode?
Yeah. I think they had it in Takedown as well, but yeah, yes.
It's kind of like that. Yeah, Flat Out had multiple modes. So there was a derby mode where you just ran into a bunch of people. There was a racing mode, and then there was like an arcade mode, I guess you would call it.
Yeah,
where you would look that one with the target, the dartboard.
Yeah,
you see it?
Okay. Mm-hmm, yeah, I see it.
You would try to fling your dude out the windshield and then hit the dartboard.
Yeah.
So in Flat Out, if you hit something hard enough, your dude would ragdoll out the front windshield.
Wasn't it if you pressed all the triggers at once, your car exploded and ejected you from the... Was that
I mean, maybe you could do that too. I don't remember. I honestly, but I do know if you hit something hard enough, your dude would literally ragdoll through the front windshield.
So there's a Flat Out 5? Is all that...
I didn't even know there were this many Flat Outs. So I'm not gonna lie to you,
I don't
bro.
know either. Apparently there is a PS4 one.
Holy shit, dude.
But what I think happened was I think the original developers of Flat Out are the ones who've been doing, because Wreckfest has been a thing for a while. It's been a thing since like 2013 or something. So yeah, Bugbear.
Is that the new thing?
I think Bugbear
and Wreckfest.
Yeah, Bugbear only made Flat Out 1 and 2 and apparently Ultimate Carnage.
Oh, this makes so much sense now.
And then
so what's Wreckfest 2? It's coming out?
Wow.
Yeah, Wreckfest 2 is coming out this month.
They made Ridge Racer Unbounded? That's fucking crazy.
That's super random.
And then I remember Wreckfest was, I'm not even kidding, I think it was it Kickstarted or was it
I don't know.
Okay, 4-year long early access. Yeah, it had good reviews when it came out. But I remember people being really mad that the early access was taking a really long time. 4 years long. So from 2014 to 2018, it was in early access, and then it came out.
Damn.
It's fucking nuts. Yeah. And development began in 2012 under Next Car Game. I remember that. Like, we were in high school and Next Car Game was being discussed. Like, it was pretty interesting. So apparently Wreckfest 2 early access, March 20th. Okay. And that's, I mean, there's other stuff happening, but you know, we can kind of.
Oh my god, I'm gonna play the shit out of some Last of Us Part 2, bro. Holy shit.
Did you play it on PlayStation?
Absolutely. Yeah, I did. That's a good fucking game, bro. I know it's like a little bit soy and like very Reddit, but damn, that game is really fucking good.
I like it too. I mean, Crossley and I have talked about this so many times. I like it as well. I feel like their track record on PC is not great.
No, not so far. You can only hope though that they learned. Right?
Doesn't the show come out in April?
I don't give a fuck about the
season 2 of the show. Really?
I don't give a shit about the show. No, that shit. No. Why did they hire? I don't understand the casting. What is the direction for Ellie? I don't get that. Why did they cast someone who looks like they actually might have some sort of mental dysfunction?
Be very careful. Be very careful.
It's just so strange to me. But I watched the first I guess I watched like 5 or 6 episodes. It was okay.
Season 1
of The Last of Us, yeah.
I liked it a lot.
I think Pedro's awesome. It's great.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
But yeah, I really, really do think that the casting and the acting of Ellie really did actually take me out of that show. I think they could have done a way fucking better job. It was very strange to me.
I'm not a fan of their choice for Ellie Okay, some of her performances towards the end when she's alone and getting, fucking almost eaten alive by those people. That whole stuff is where I finally was just like, you know what, she's fucking doing a good job. But otherwise, I just don't think she fits as hard as some. I don't know.
That was Troy Baker, wasn't it? I think the thing...
Yeah, Troy Baker was there, yeah.
I think the thing about this... the casting for Ellie, I thought, in the first season was really good. And really fit the character. And I thought the performances were good. That looked like Saoirse Ronan. I think like the casting is good for young Ellie. Like, I think this person has the look, the attitude, all that stuff for young Ellie. I think the Ellie in season 2 is in the game so much older that it's strange to see the same person playing Ellie again.
How long after the first game did the events of the second game take place?
I don't know if you remember, Crossley. Was it like 4 years or something?
Idea.
I don't remember, but I do want to say it was like at least like 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, we could find out. They released this new trailer yesterday. And I don't know about you guys. I thought that looked pretty good.
I haven't watched the trailer because I know I'm going to watch the show. And
I see.
I am nothing but excited just because of the story they tell in the second game. I would love to see certain parts of that portrayed again in a different way. And I love some of the things they showed us in season 1 that we didn't see in the game, and I would love to see things like that maybe for Abby
Guy
or other
complains
characters.
That I'm not streaming, and then when I am streaming, doesn't watch the thing I'm streaming. Okay.
No, I was watching that. I just mean like I haven't actually watched the trailer on my own time, and I just know I'm going to watch the show, so I don't need to.
So it is 4 years. There's a 4-year difference in between the two.
I don't think that person, because like the change in Ellie between 1 and 2 is so drastic in the game, and maybe that's a bit unrealistic given how
no, I think that's fair. 4 years from adolescence.
Yeah, but I mean, we knew
I think
plenty.
it looks.
We knew plenty
I think
of
it looks
people who
appropriate.
went from 14 to 18 and didn't and looked basically the same. You know,
Yeah.
so I mean, it is possible. I don't know, but it just bugs me because I just think the Last of Us 2 Ellie is so much more has a lot more physicality going on, and I find Last of Us 1 Ellie's like form sort of it would be hard for me to believe
I don't know what to say
that they could
other
survive all
than
that, but
yeah. I don't know what to say other than I just don't think Bella Ramsey looks that much like Ellie, other than she's a young woman with brown hair. It just there's so many other actresses that don't even try to look like Ellie as a character and do, and they're good actresses too. So I don't know, maybe they just weren't available, and this is all they had, I guess. But and then I think maybe Merced was saying this earlier, but freaking, she looks like unclouded for sure.
yeah,
Like, I don't know.
it's crazy. It doesn't bother me that much, but I think it's just
it takes me out of it so hard, dude.
It does. Like,
it's
it
just
really
the
does.
physicality for me. Like I find it hard to believe Bella Ramsey can.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, I mean that's also part of it.
Ellie
yeah,
Ellie
sure.
in The Last of Us 2 goes through a lot of shit.
Bella Ramsey doesn't look like a badass that can fend for herself. Like,
I would kind of agree.
It's not convincing.
Yeah,
that's a very, very good point. But I don't know if I would have believed that at the beginning of playing The Last of Us Part 2 at the very beginning either, though. Right?
But I would say that Ellie is at least closer, I guess. But yeah, you're right. I mean, I think
you know what I'm saying though?
Yeah.
Like by the end of part 2, then I'm just like, yeah, 100%. This is absolutely believable. I believe Ellie could do all of this shit 100%.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how convinced I was whenever I first started playing it, and I can't tap into that at all.
Yeah.
So, but I do think she looks tougher. Like that's 100% for sure. Like Ellie, part 2 Ellie looks tougher than the actress for Last of Us.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see how they do Abby.
I think they already have
they've definitely already announced the casting, but
yeah, I think they already have I think they've already shown pictures of them on set, and they look like a lot more feminine than you would think. So there's that aspect of it. Let me see if I can find it.
Damn, I'm sorry, Merced.
Dude, they could have bro.
Pour one out for Merced, guys.
Let's see if we can find.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the Abby in Last of Us 2 was like almost unrealistically built. Like,
yeah,
just like
yeah, no, she was stacked.
Like absolutely jacked. Like it was crazy.
Like fucking yeah, like an ox.
So yeah, finding someone who fits that body type and is also a phenomenal actress would be a really hard send. So
yeah,
it would have been crazy if they had found someone willing to bulk up though.
Like yeah, but Abby in Last of Us is like you're like coming onto like test territory. Like
yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
It is pretty impressive how jacked
what I mean. It's like it would have been crazy if they found someone willing to do that. Which it's okay that they didn't. To be clear, like I totally understand why no one would want to do that to themselves, but
yeah.
That's like Jordan Grace, the wrestler. I don't think her voice is going back to the way it was before. I think her voice is stuck that way. So yeah, like you said, I don't blame anyone for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty excited for the show. I enjoyed the first season a lot. I'd like to see them make some bold choices in this second season, because what I understand to be the case, this second season will not cover all of Game 2.
Oh, I was surprised that Last of Us 1 covered, or Season 1 covered all of Last of Us 1.
I agree. But I mean, if you think about it, though, there is a lot less going on in The Last of Us 1 than
it's a lot of traveling, right?
It's a lot of traveling.
Like, what do? You
Yeah.
meet Joel's brother, and then travel
Yeah.
to the hospital, right? That's
Yep.
like about it.
That's the
Yeah.
game. Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of story to unpack into, so they could definitely take their time, do a couple seasons, add in some more stuff. I think the Nick not Nick Schwartzen. What the fuck is Nick Offerman episode in season 1 was really good. I liked that.
Agreed.
Tangent.
That's what I mean when I like say the stuff they added in season 1 that we didn't see in the game was so good to me that I'm excited to see that for this part of the story.
That was the part that a lot of people got upset about, right? Where they were like explicitly homosexual rather than like.
Yeah, I mean, weird people were mad that there was gay shit in their thing.
I don't know anyone personally that was mad about that episode.
I just saw people getting upset about it online.
Yeah, I see that for everything.
Yeah.
Ever.
But okay, let's move into some games, I guess. Unless anybody has any other news they want to bring up.
Shit, I don't think so. I think that's about it, right?
There's definitely some other stuff that happened, but to me, none of it's like, fucking crazy or anything. I mean, we've got about a month out until the Switch 2 stuff. Like the announcement thing. I think we're like a couple of days, maybe a day from the Siege X thing.
What, are they revealing more
Finally.
information?
Yeah. March 13th, sorry.
Oh man.
So
I think who was it? Was it you, Crossley, that was talking about it, or was it you, Chandler? I don't even remember now.
I suppose it was me. I don't think Crossley's a big Siege guy.
I don't know. Whoever was talking,
No, it was.
whoever was talking about it was like dooming it, like it was going to be like not that great.
Oh, that wasn't me.
Okay, I don't think that was me either. I mean, we don't know what it's going to be, but I think it's going to be awesome because I think it's not going to be Rainbow Six Siege 2. I think it's going to be like a Rainbow Six Siege classic. Like they're going back to the basics, back to tactical, take away most of the operator abilities, go back to hostage or, bomb reinforcements, things like that, like remove most of the abilities, back to cameras, drones, and the simple shit, and make it more about shooting again.
I think it's going to be both. I think it's going to be that and a sequel, like a, quality of life stuff, more maybe maps and stuff that are true to the old, like, more content, more new content as well, not just like going back and that's it, if that makes sense. What I mean?
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. I mean, yeah, it'd be cool if that's what it is. I kind of am curious if they'll do that. I feel like they're just gonna announce like an engine swap, but it's still gonna be Siege. Like how basically like CS:GO. You know how CS:GO just transformed into Counter-Strike 2? I feel like it's just that, but maybe not. I mean, I
hope not.
I hope not also. I'd love to see them do another campaign, man. Let's take another crack at some single-player Rainbow Six. I mean, what the fuck? We haven't had a single-player Rainbow Six in like 10 years or more.
I think they're done with that, dude.
Dude, those games were fucking good and they sold well.
Seems like they're pretty fucking donezo with it. How long has it been?
Was Vegas
Rainbow
2
Six
the
Vegas
last
2,
one?
yeah.
Was that really the last one?
Pretty sure.
2008? It's been almost 20 years.
Dude, I was in 8th grade, bro. Holy shit. I remember playing that game high as fuck online.
Oh, God. This can't be real. Is that true?
I just know that
I guess it is.
I hope this is a starting point and not a continuation of what's already existed. Because I want to be able to hop in to a fresh Siege experience with you guys and not hop into overwhelming with a lot of history Siege experience.
Yeah.
I'm honestly, one of the main things that I'm hoping for is that in a way it is a CS2 type of experience where they basically revamp the game, reseed it into an updated version of the current engine. And then we can have things like more dynamic smokes. We can have more dynamic destructible environments, even though, I mean, like, they do it fantastically already, but it could be better, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm hoping that that's going to be the case. And I also am hoping that there's going to be something like, just only the starters. So that way we only get the Spetsnaz, the SAS, the you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So then it's like, what? I think that was like 16 operators total on start. It was like something like that. I would be 100% down to go back to that.
I think you're right. 8 and 8. Yeah, that sounds correct.
I'll be down.
Sorry, I meant to keep this open. Okay. Well, you guys have 10 minutes to talk about Monster Hunter Wilds, and then I have 10 minutes to talk about Avowed, and then we got to wrap it up because I didn't realize it's almost D&D time.
Oh shit. Monster Hunter Wilds is a great game. You should play it. It's really good.
All right, now the other 9.5 minutes is for me. All right. It is really good. It's just Monster Hunter World 2. Baby. Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah. I don't know if there's really all that much to say. Because, I mean, if you enjoyed Monster Hunter World, this is just a more streamlined version of Monster Hunter World. If you don't have an incredible PC, I would probably stay away from it just for now. But
yeah,
other than that, it's I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, shit, Brandon's I guess like the main thing is like you just need to have a good CPU. If you have a good CPU, you'll probably get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon's running on a 3080 right now, and he's doing fine. Doing fine as in like I think he said he's running at like 60 to 70 frames a second. So
yeah,
which is in all reality better than a PlayStation.
Is it too late for me? Should I even bother now, or is it?
What do you mean?
I been? I feel like it's gonna take me too long to catch up. You know?
No, it's super short.
It took us about what, like 12, 14 hours to beat the campaign, and that's when you can start hunting with us.
Is 12 to 14 hours? Is the?
I mean, we can hunt with you while you're doing the whole campaign. All the way
I was
through.
about to say, what do you mean? We can just do the campaign with him. Like, it's better that way when we're already ahead.
I don't know if he
join you immediately.
Yeah, but I don't know if he wants us to join him while he's doing the campaign quests. Like Mossberg didn't want me joining to his campaign quests because I would literally just come in and one shot everything.
Okay.
Well, we can take weaker weapons, but
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess
how so what is the multiplayer does it function how we feared, or is it actually?
No, it
works
easy.
Perfectly.
Oh, okay.
It works perfectly. There's any way that you want to basically handle the online multiplayer situation, it has available for you. Like what we have set up right now, which this is actually a really cool thing to talk about because I think this is the first time that I've seen something like this implemented this way. But we have a squad, so it's like a group of people, basically like a guild that you can create, and we've invited everyone into. So whenever when you load up the game, the guild has its own server. So you just join that server nobody has to invite anyone, nobody has to do fucking anything, and as long as you're all on the same server, you can see whoever's posting the quest, whoever's on whatever, and you can join in with no invite, nothing.
You can't see this, but I'm literally navigating to the buy page as you're talking.
So this is the most streamlined form of the multiplayer like we've ever seen. It is incredibly simple.
I do want to say they did this exact thing in World.
I didn't even know that this thing existed.
I'm removing it from my cart.
No,
I truly didn't know that this thing existed.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't utilize it, but me and Cole and our group of people on PlayStation used it the whole way through, and our guild was called the God Hand, and we had you can change, the little symbol for your guild, and we have one that almost looks like the Bloodborne, upside down person symbol. So it was our name was the God Hand, and it had that little symbol on it. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, good guild. But McDonald's is cool too. I'll take it. Everybody likes McDonald's.
But yeah, I don't think that that you're late by any means.
No, not at
So,
all.
Okay.
This is the time. Nothing, no new content.
like
has been dropped yet.
Mossberg's still working at his own pace through the campaign, and like Crossley said, like, dude, this is gonna be like years of content coming out for this game. This is gonna be like a while. So
Is that true?
yeah, absolutely. World got
Yeah, I guess
updates
that's
even
true.
through Rise's release. World got updates.
I guess that's true. But how, man? Yeah, how many people though possibly will be playing? Like, what do we expect the drop off will be? You know what I mean? Like, even in, like, I guess I'm asking just in our friend group, but even as like a broad sense, like, what will the drop off of the player base be like after like a month? You know, like.
I don't know because I never really tracked the Monster Hunter World numbers all that much to get a good idea. I do know that the numbers for Wilds has blown World's numbers out of the water though.
Yeah.
And really realistically, that is a question that is unanswerable until we see at what rate they want to start releasing content. Whenever they want to pull the valve, you know,
Yeah,
and be like, here's a new monster, here's a new monster, here's a new monster. I know me and Crossley were thinking like they're probably going to go with more of like a games as a service type deal, just based off the vibes of the way that the game is working so far. That they're probably going to go more in the direction of like, let's have like weekly stuff or monthly stuff or release monsters one at a time or things like that, and then have very large content updates for things like Iceborne style updates. But I mean, like I said, it's yet to be seen. We're gonna have to wait and see how they want to handle the content updates and everything. But as it stands right now, we have easily put in I've put in 44 hours, Crossley has put in 51 hours. And we're not close to getting what we want.
So. Oh, that's 57.8 hours.
So
okay.
Tell me this before I click purchase. Is it as fun as our favorite game, Crossley?
I think it beats Wild Hearts.
What? Come on.
It's you know,
All
it's
right.
it's just a better game. I don't know.
All right. I
Wild
just
Hearts
bought
has
it.
some unique things to it, but
You better be right about this, or I swear to fucking God, dude.
We got him. He fucking got tricked.
yeah. You're welcome, Capcom.
Live on the air. Let me just read out my credit card number. No. Okay. All right. How deep into the end game are you guys?
Basically just started.
Jesus Christ.
Or it feels like it just started. I mean, I guess I'm 40 something hours in. We beat the campaign at like 12. But it still feels like there's a ton of stuff to do, so.
So like they just keep bringing out new monsters for you guys to fight.
After the campaign is done, it drip feeds you for a good bit, new monsters and things happening and stuff like that.
Okay.
So yeah, in a sense, we've already found all of the monsters. So all content, all content in that sense is we already know all this stuff. But what comes afterwards is, you know, kind of like the almost like MMO-esque grind, just in a different way, where it's like, oh, do you want to increase your stats and all that kind of stuff? Well, then you got to grind out the monsters and the parts and everything in order to increase your stats.
The whole game's not in the desert, is it?
No.
Okay.
No, that just is, funny enough, basically the only thing you see from like trailers and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a giant lush forest, there's a snowy area, there's an area that's almost like supernatural. Yeah, there's a variety. There's a variety of stuff.
Yeah, there is.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
You just got to find the weapon that you love. You have to find the weapon that you vibe with, and then you're just like, fuck. I can't fucking put this game down, bro. I can't fucking stop, bro.
Yeah, it's time for me to as the person who has played the most Monster Hunter games here.
Is that true?
That is true. I had Monster Hunter 1 for the PlayStation 2.
I would believe it. I think I've played like one other Monster Hunter other than World. So
yeah, I mean I wouldn't be surprised if Crossley also had Monster Hunter 1 for the PlayStation 2, but there's just something about like these games that have never like fully connected with me. The closest I got was in the last few years. Worlds didn't even really grab me either. It was Wild Hearts that woke me up to being like, okay, actually maybe I enjoy this kind of game again. And then I played the Monster Hunter that came out after that, which was
Rise,
and enjoyed that. So I feel like
you might just be in the mood now.
I might just like it now. I don't know, but we'll see.
Because I mean, they're really the same thing. They're like,
man, I'll tell you what though, you cannot build a giant wooden hammer, lead a monster into it, and give him the fucking smackdown with it. You can't.
No, I don't think that we have that yet.
Is there? Yeah, no. They're like.
We've got traps and stuff.
Wild Hearts 2 is gonna be better than all the Monster Hunters. I can feel
we've got traps and stuff. You can like fucking shoot like stalactites that are hanging from like cave ceilings and like pierce into the top of monsters. There's like, you know, you can fucking like pull on like rock walls and stuff and cause like a small avalanche on top of the monsters, things like that.
I feel like Monster Hunter is Call of Duty Modern Warfare and
oh shit,
and fucking Wild Hearts is Titanfall 2, you know.
Oh man,
that's there's just so much more going on in
that's
Wild
crazy.
Hearts. Yeah, it's, you know, I didn't want to be the one to tell you, but
well, that game's dead, so I don't know if you know that, but they literally pulled the plug on it. So you're stuck with Modern Warfare.
Did they actually?
On Wild Hearts, yes, they did for real. Yes, they did. Go here.
The online's still up.
See, you fucking liar, dude.
They did.
Oh,
wait.
Oh, it doesn't receive updates anymore. Okay.
Yeah. They weren't gonna do any more content updates, but the game is still up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
See,
People
it's
still
done.
play it.
It's donezo.
Did you talk about focus mode?
Oh yeah. Well, I assumed that Chandler knew what focus mode was, but you can go for it.
Do you know what it is, Chandler?
No, you have 2 minutes.
So basically, the new like big thing, other than being able to have two weapons, is focus mode, which you just hold left trigger and you can like free aim while you're doing anything. Whereas normally with a lot of combos and shit in the old games, you would be like locked into what you're doing. They've basically fixed that, and then also added new combos and moves and shit to focus mode for all the weapons. Basically, it's really sick.
Yeah, I remember finding it really insane that you could aim even with melee strikes, right?
Yeah, anything. Yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. I mean, I did play the demo and I thought it was all right. So, I'm actually, part of the reason I didn't buy it is because I wasn't looking forward to doing all that shit again. But I will.
Skip the cutscenes.
Oh yeah, so so the reviews are lying to you. They're lying to all of you. Do not watch the cutscenes. Don't care about the story. Skip the story. Skip everything.
So bad.
Just do the hunts. There are reviews from actual troglodytes for some reason saying that the story is good. I have no clue where the fuck this comes from. All right, that's it.
I like this training machine that they're showing in the stream right now, where it's like it just beats the fuck out of you, I guess. What? What is up with
Most
that?
of the weapons now have a new parry system, so I'm assuming that that's why
Oh, I see.
they ended up adding that in. Yeah,
Okay.
there's a lot of weapons now that have pretty cool parries and shit, where you like clash with the monster. And it's pretty cool.
That's sick. Okay.
But yeah, Avowed. You love Avowed.
Avowed. I finished Avowed 2 days ago. I think it is as close as we're probably ever gonna get to an action RPG that has the quality of writing that, say, wow, I just clicked on a review from Mortismal Gaming, and he's killing the little innocent monkey monster guys that roam around the world.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Psychopath behavior. I didn't
that is
even
actually
try.
sicko mode.
I didn't even try to do it.
I didn't either. That's crazy, dude.
Anyway, yeah, I think the writing that we get in Avowed is some of the best RPG writing in an action-oriented kind of console-first RPG that we're probably going to get ever. Maybe we'll see what happens, but I think your ability to influence what happens in the game is fucking crazy. There is probably, I would say, basically 3 main endings, but then there's like probably 6 or 7 permutations of different things that can happen, kind of the details within those endings that can be different depending on the actions that you take. All of the main side quests that have a name that go in your log, other than the treasure maps, contribute in some way to the story, which I think is interesting. It could be small. It could literally just be there's a character who might not be at the end of the game, if you chose not to do their quest. But yeah, I mean, there's basically 4 major choices through the game that will determine what happens at the end and will actually like affect how the story wraps up, and in different ways depending on some of the context stuff and what you choose in a broader sense. I also like how the game just goes like, I'll just use an example. There's a choice at the kind of the first time they do this is early on, but they really lean into it later where they're like, hey bro, you got to make a decision, peanut butter or chocolate. And you'll be like, whew, well, this is pretty serious. Kai, what do you think? Like, you can literally ask your companions, and Kai will be like, I'm more of a peanut butter man myself, but I mean, I don't really mind chocolate. And then the other guy will be like, I'm fucking allergic to peanut butter, by the way, and but I'm chocolate's fine, I guess. And then you'll have like 3 other dialogue options that'll be like to the original guy who gave you the choice. Well, can I combine the peanut butter and the chocolate, or like what kind of shit are we talking about here? Like, what is there anything I don't know about the choice of peanut butter and chocolate? Like, is whatever. And they'll explain everything, and then eventually they get to the end and they're like, you're not getting out of this. Like, literally the guy with the dialogue option goes, you have to choose now. Like, you can't, you're trying to weasel your way out of this. Like you do, like you min-max every other game, you little fucker, but we're making you choose. So like, there's literally a point where both choices were so bad, like so unbelievably bad. Like, not even morally. There was no moral right or wrong. It was literally just both choices sucked ass. And we're going to
the
kill.
Trolley.
It's literally the Trolley, except worse because the scale was much larger. And it was, there was nothing good. Nothing good you could do. So you just had to go, okay.
Oh, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
While we're at this pivotal part of Avowed, is, in your opinion, that choice, like, did they make it make sense? Or in your head is like, there's such a better way. Why am I being forced to pick between these two? Or is it like, yeah, it makes sense how we got here, and I do in the role play have to do one of these things, and there's no better option.
There's basically, they get around that by having a driving force in the story that requires people to be acting quickly and somewhat irrationally. So like there's like a major character in the game.
Well, something worse will happen if you don't pick one
basically.
of these two.
It's kind of like barreling. They're like barreling towards a bad conclusion anyway. So they're just like, let's just do something now, you know, like
something worse will happen if we don't do one of these two.
Supposedly
are both also horrible.
They don't even know, by the way. I mean, everybody's just winging it all the time, which I think is really cool. And yeah, I found early on, me and Mossberg's playthroughs had similar choices, and then by the end of the game, we had done a lot of different things. So it's a really cool game. I think the gameplay holds up. I think it was fun through most of it. I did switch the difficulty from normal to hard about halfway through, and I felt like that was the right choice. I think it's really good. I'll probably talk more about it next time because we have to wrap up. And maybe I'll have some more thoughts, but I do think if anyone has interest in RPGs at all, and really likes lore heavy, like very like, solid world building type of writing, like there's just a lot of it. I think Avowed is probably the best you're going to do this year. I would think. I mean, it's hard to imagine anything better. So, Obsidian's back at it. I wasn't a huge Outer Worlds fan, so I'm really happy to see this work out. It's making me. I've probably have about 7 or 8 hours in Pillars of Eternity 1. It's making me want to go back and see that through, start over, really pay attention to the writing and really dig in, because the world of Avowed is fucking fascinating. I mean, the stuff that happens in the world, even as somebody who doesn't really understand it as well as somebody who played Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2, I think it's cool. And I like the weird like fantasy and like muskets and, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of interesting mixes. There's fucking kind of steampunky robots too. Like there's just some cool stuff. And I think the coolest concept is the basis for the entire world, which is the wheel of life, death, and rebirth. Everyone in the world knows that gods are real, they exist, and when you die, you are inevitably reborn. Everyone knows it. It's a thing that happens. Everyone knows it's going to happen. Everyone knows it's happened to them. I think shit like that is interesting. And there are characters who know about their past lives and just can't handle knowing that, knowing the details, knowing who they were, who are insane. And shit like that is just really fascinating. So I just think some of the core concepts in this universe are really awesome. And it means sometimes when you kill people, one of your companions says, better luck in your next life. And I think that's cute. So, yeah, Avowed, good game. If I was going to infinite scale it, it'd probably be like a 3. So I'm
that's pretty good
for all you lay people. That's probably around an 8 or a 9. On a moron scale.
Yeah,
on a 0 to 10 moron scale. Cool game. Really, really good writing, good choices. Runs really well. Looks pretty nice. They definitely cut some corners in some places, but yeah. And I got to go play D&D now, so we'll do this again soon, because I think I'm going to play some Monster Hunter. I'd like to also play some Rise of the Ronin, and maybe we'll give our thoughts on those.
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed's coming out soon, basically 10 days from now.
Yeah, we're going to have quite a bit of stuff to talk about, I think, the next time that we come back. So
yeah, for sure.
All right.
All right, guys. Peace out.
See ya.
Yeah.